¿Cuál es el ritmo? ¿Media noche?
My peoples. Salute, salute, my peoples. I'm over here setting up shop. We're about to kick off this live in a few. And like the title says, you guys will get to find out the name of the new show. I hope you like it. I think you're gonna like it. And I'm gonna give you guys some details with regards to what the show is about. You're gonna have a better understanding. And I think you guys are gonna be excited about it. So just give me a few minutes, my peoples. And like I said, man, I'm going to be announcing the name of the new show. Going to be announcing the date that it drops. I think you guys are going to be excited about it. You know, the people who's been subscribing to Box Center, you guys are about that smoke. You guys are about that action. So, you know, I think that you will be excited. The moment you hear the name of the show and you see what the concept is about, I think you guys are gonna be excited. By the way, my peoples, Lori Reed is in the building from the Rise Podcast. Yo, shout out to Lori Reed. And go ahead and subscribe to the Rise Podcast. You guys know what it is. I don't deal with conspiracies. I don't deal with narrative pushers and goofballery. I deal with real boxing stuff. And if you want to deal with real boxing quality content, go to the Rise Podcast and subscribe, my peoples. Lori Reed got 100% my support, as does Senior Cobbs. Yeah. But again, my peoples, I'm going to go on mute for a second because I'm setting up shop over here. Stay with me, my peoples. Stay with me because we're about to get down. We're about to get it popping, y'all. My peoples, I want to give a shout out to everybody tuning in. This is going to be the first live from Box Center 2.0. Whoa, the General, John Parham, is in the building. My peoples, I got to explain to you something. This is the first time we go live, right? Meaning, since this is the first time we live, there are no admins in Box Center 2.0. Well, guess what? The first admin of Box Center 2.0 has to be none other than Mr. John Parham. And then you got Lori Reed in the building. Come on, man. You know Lori's going to be an admin up in the building. Shaku Hands is in the building. He's going to be an admin. So there goes your first three admins of the building. Shaku Hands, John Parham, and Miss Lori Reed. If you wasn't in earlier, my peoples, Mrs. Lori Reed is in the building. Show some love, show some respect. She, representing in the Rise Podcast, representing Baltimore. My peoples, show love to Lori Reed because she been showing me love. She one of the real ones you ever gonna see out there. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is about to kick off in a few. I'm just setting up my camera nicely, setting up this equipment over here, setting up some images for you to see what we got going on. So we're going to get it in tonight. Y'all better be ready. Those of you who know me, you guys know that I try to innovate. I try to do things differently. I try to, make it exciting, make it fun for us, because we're all boxing fans at the end of the day. I could be an analyst, I could predict, I could do all that stuff, but at the end of the day, I'm a fan like everybody else. And we all enjoy the sweet science, so that's what this is about. That's what this is all about. Lori, the only thing, Lori, I'm going to say to you is that picture you uploaded with Tank Davis, I was a little bit jealous, Lori. Y'all was hugging a little bit too tight. I don't know, man. I didn't appreciate Tank holding you that tight. That wasn't necessary. I think it could have just been like, I don't know. I'm jealous, Lori. But besides that, it's all good. Tank Davis showing love to the community of Baltimore. So we gotta show him love for sure. But he don't need to be hugging you like that. Ain't no need for all that, Lori. I gotta let you know, Lori, I'm jealous. I'm the jealous type. So going forward, Tank Davis, I think he should just give you a handshake when he see you. All that hugging is not necessary. Lori, that's my son. I know that's your baby, but you know, I didn't appreciate all that hugging tightly like that. Nah, man. Forget all that. I'm gonna have to put an end to all that. My peoples, I'm talking too much while I'm trying to set up shop. Let me shut up for a second so I can set up shop and get down with you guys. So I'm gonna go on mute. You're not gonna hear my voice, but I will be back to kick this show off, man. I'll be right back. ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, the first live on Box Center 2.0. Whoa! First of all, man, I want to kick off this live by giving a shout out to everybody who's been supporting, everybody who's been showing love. Um, you guys, a lot of you first subscribe to Box Center with JSmiff, and you guys argue, debate, go back and forth with me on that channel. And I came up with Box Center 2.0 specifically to launch a new show. And the reason I did that is because it's gonna be a little bit spicy. It's gonna get spicy out here. And I don't know if YouTube is gonna let us rock. I don't know if they're gonna block the channel for doing it the way that we're going to. Hopefully they let us rock, but that's the reason for Box Center 2.0. I want to give a shout out to Lori Reed, who's already in the building. Shot Cool Hands in the building. My brother John Parham, always showing love. And everybody else who's tuning in. I'm excited. I'm excited about this new show that's coming up. By the way, what I am about to announce, this show will only be available on this channel. Anything that comes out on this live is for this channel only. So subscribe to Box Center 2.0 if you haven't already done so, because not only will you get exclusive content, man, I got a dog behind me barking. Not only will you guys see exclusive content posted on this channel, but the live that you're gonna see here is gonna be like none other, my peoples. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes. I know that it took me a long time to jump on the live. Some of the people moved around. Give you guys a few minutes to get situated. And we're going to announce the name of the show. And we're also going to announce the date that it drops, which is gonna be very soon. Very soon you're going to see this new show. What's it all about? What's it really gonna happen? Well, you'll see. That's all I can tell you. You will see, but it shall be interesting. And, some people ask me about boxing for breakfast. Is anything gonna change about that? No. Boxing for breakfast is still gonna be on Mondays through Fridays at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Box Center with JSmiff. Okay, that show is not gonna air on this channel, but like I said, the show that I'm about to announce is exclusive to Box Center 2.0, my peoples. So, about to give y'all the real scoop, and let me put it up for you guys. And I'm gonna tell you something. There's, just like Boxing for Breakfast, before I tell you guys the name of the new show, just like Boxing for Breakfast, it took me some time to come up with this name. Boxing for Breakfast, obviously there's a reason for that, right? 6:30 in the morning, we get to have breakfast while we enjoy boxing conversations. We go back and forth, all that good stuff. Well, guess what? Here's the name of the new show for you guys. Coming up, bam! There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Goofiest of the Oofiest, the podcast. That's the name of the show right there. I hope you guys like it. I know some people are gonna like it, some people are not gonna like it, but Goofiest of the Oofiest comes from the fact that in boxing, look what you get. You win and you accomplish, yet people still trying to bring you down, still trying to hate on you. You see the most goofiest logic, the most goofiest comments in boxing. So this show is Goofiest of the Oofiest, the podcast. So they have to name my peoples. Lori, I like it. That's what's up. If you like it now I'm starting off with a bang, Lori. You telling me that you like it, that's it. We starting off with a bang. Shaku hands. No, you didn't. Yes, I did, my guy. Goofiest of the oofiest. Now, let me tell you guys. You know I'm different, bro. You know I'm different. I'm not going to try to copy nobody's name. I'm not going to try to copy nobody's show. This is what we giving them. So let me give you guys the breakdown. But before I give you the breakdown, this new show, which is going to be way different than what we got going on in the morning, bam! Check it, my people. Check that out, my peoples. Yo, I'm super excited. This podcast, Goofiest of the Oofiest, the podcast, is going to drop Monday, November 30th. That's next Monday coming up, y'all. Next Monday. We're going to see the Goofiest of the Oofiest taking place. Now, bam, my peoples. I want you to understand that right there, what it says right there. Open hotline, y'all. There's going to be an open hotline. Yes, sir. As of Monday, there's going to be an open hotline, so you guys will be able to call in whether you want to give a fighter credit, whether you want to trash talk, whether you want to argue with me. Whatever you want to do, we about to smoke. We're really going to go at it. And this is the reason why I had to create Box Center 2.0. Because I was like, wait a minute. I don't know if we're going to start cursing each other out. And YouTube is going to block the whole channel out of here, right? I don't know if that's going to happen. But my peoples, Box Center 2.0 is coming through with that show, and I promise you, it is going to be epic. It's going to be epic, my peoples. By the way, hit that like button. If you're tuning in, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Box Center 2.0. Shaku hands. Where the rest of us come into the debut. Well, you know that this channel has very few subscribers, so when it's like that, they usually don't share it with people. People don't get to see it. You kind of have to go look for it, or if you don't have the link. But don't worry about it. They gonna find out. And I'm gonna be sharing this. You know, I didn't do enough. I didn't promote it. Because honestly, to be honest, I didn't want to say the name of the show until the debut episode. So it's all good. We are going to come through. I'm going to be sharing, you know, Box Center 2.0 with everybody. I know you guys are going to be looking out, sharing it as well. So we're going to let the people know. Lori Reed, share this live. Appreciate it, Lori. No doubt. Shaku hands. Today was the unveiling with the people. Toy Mafia in the building. Salute, my brother. There goes the name. There goes the name of the new show, Toy Mafia. Goofiest of the Oofiest. The podcast. And like I told you guys, man, that line is going to open up and it's going to be on fire. It's going to be on fire, my people. Let me give you a rundown. Now that you guys know the name of the show, you guys know when the show is going to drop, let me give you a quick rundown so that you have an understanding. So, for example, this weekend, we had some great fights, right? So I'm going to be sharing something with you guys, and you'll simply be able to call in, and you got a whole minute to express yourself. And it's like I told you, whether you want to give props, whether you want to hate. So, for example, I'm going to have a clock, a 1-minute clock. I'm going to open the hotline, and I show you this image, and that's it. You're going to be on speaker. So when you call in, everybody's going to hear what you got to say about that image. Do you want to give Devin credit for what he accomplished, or do you want to hate? Do you want to say, no, he only won because of this and that? Or you ready to be like, yeah, he's the dude. He's the guy. He is a special fighter. We got to give it to him. So that's gonna be the dynamic. I'm gonna be sharing, images of different fighters, different situations, and as usual, we're gonna be going at it in the comment section. But that hotline is gonna be rather hot, cause it's like I told you, it's not gonna be like boxing for breakfast where you say some goofy stuff. You might go on a 24-hour break. You might get blocked. Nope, not on Box Center 2.0. Not on goofiest of the oofiest. You're gonna be able to say whatever you want. The stage is gonna, well, you can't get into no politics or no religion, none of that type of stuff. But as long as it's boxing, when you get through on that hotline, you're gonna be able to express yourself, say whatever you want, and you're gonna be live. So, and of course, you guys know that we're going to be making highlight reels out of those interactions, people calling in, whatever you guys have to say. Because, listen, boxing for breakfast is what it is because you guys share your opinion. We go back and forth. Sometimes we having a serious conversation. Sometimes we trash talking. Sometimes, and you're going to see that here, but over the phone. And, by the way, to make it easier, I analyzed a lot of different possibilities. To make it easier for you guys, you'll be able to call via WhatsApp. So the point of that is, you don't have to call a long distance 1-800 number that's going to charge you an arm and a leg to make that call. Nope, you're going to be able to make that call for free. You're going to be on Wi-Fi, call via WhatsApp, and you're going to be on speaker right away. So that hotline, my peoples, like I told you, it's gonna get rather hot. Now, just like we do on Boxing for Breakfast, we're gonna be talking about the biggest fights. We're gonna be talking about the best fighters. We're gonna be talking, about everything that's going on. Look at this weekend. What a card of boxing. What a night of boxing. We saw Bam Rodriguez do what he did, perform spectacular performance, devastating knockout, devastating blow from Bam Rodriguez. I don't know if you saw that counter punch, but he was on some boom. When you put the whole weight, when you pivot into it, your whole body weight, boom, Bam Rodriguez put homeboy to bed, flattened him. Then we had the performance from Abdullah Mason, who had to bite down and go to war with his opponent. So these are topics of conversation that are gonna come up in Goofiest of the Oofiest, the podcast. But now you guys will chime in over the phone. Shaku hands, that left hand, crazy. Man, listen, the way Abdullah Mason did it, whoa. But the way, because he had to go to war for 12 rounds. But Bam Rodriguez, that counter shot, that was just quite brutal. Brutal, I tell you. And of course, my peoples, I would say the most shocking thing that happened is Devin Haney dropping Brian Norman Jr. in the second round. To me, that was the most shocking thing because obviously Brian Norman Jr. was expected to knock Devin Haney out. A lot of people said that Devin wasn't going to be able to take the power, that Norman Jr. was too strong for him, that Devin wasn't going to be able to keep him off. Well, you guys saw how that played out. So I would say this was the most shocking fight of the night simply because a lot of people had Devin getting knocked out. Shaku Hands very shocked. Shocking. Everybody was talking about it, and everybody's still talking about it. And Devin Haney did what he said he was going to do. And did it in beautiful fashion. Salute to Devin Haney, man. Golly. And Bill, they did it. They did what they said they were going to do. That's for sure. And then, of course, my peoples, the Mexican Monster. Whoa. the Mexican Monster did it in destructive fashion. That, there's no other way to describe it. Lori Reed, shocked indeed. I mean, I think nobody expected Devin Haney to drop Brian Norman Jr. Nobody expected the fight to play out the way that it did. But I said it on the Rise podcast that, Brian Norman Jr., I would think that he prepared for a Devin Haney that was going to be running, that he was going to be cutting off the ring, that he was going to... And I don't think he was expecting that type of fight the same way that William Zepeda was not expecting Shakur to stand in front of him and just trade for the whole night. So whether or not he was prepared for that type of fight, but it didn't look like it. To me, it felt like he went in there to blast Devin Haney out of there, and it just couldn't happen. And you mentioned it, it didn't seem like they had a plan B. It just didn't seem like it. Lori, I don't have the link to send tonight. I wish I could have had the link available. But if you could tell us a little bit about, Tank Davis, whether... I know that he hasn't made a decision on when he's coming back, but do you know, or do you at least suspect if we'll see him in 2026? Because obviously, Tank Davis is one of those fighters who the fans just want to see. The fans want to see him in the ring. People want to see him fight. And of course, whenever he says, I'm fighting, people are going to tune in. It's going to be, an anticipated event. Is there any train of thought? Lori Reed, absolutely. There you have it, my peoples. Tank Davis, there's a very good possibility that we're going to see him in 2026. And you know what, Lori? I'm hoping that that's the case. I'm hoping that, we're going to get at some point, whether it's later in the year or early next year, an announcement that we will see Tank Davis back in the ring soon. Because at the end of the day, look at the 135 division. The 135 division is stacked. Look at the champions. Look at the champions. So the 135 division is serious. And Tank Davis is basically the biggest name in the division, one of the biggest names in boxing. So hopefully, we get some from Tank Davis soon, man. But again, salute to Tank Davis, looking out for the people in Baltimore, Turkey, giving out coats, giving out food, taking pictures with the kids. So no doubt, salute to Tank Davis. Lori Reed, he has to finish what he started. And that's the thing. Tank has unfinished business. And you know what I was saying, Lori? That because people keep floating this idea that Tank is not in it anymore and that boxing is not his thing, is not his... And maybe that's something that you can speak on. But with being someone who's has performed at a high level for such a long time, I believe that he can't stay away from boxing for too long because he's in his prime and I know he's going to miss it. I feel like he's watching these guys fighting. He's watching Devin, he's going to watch Tio and Shakur. He's watching all of those fights. And I know that those competitive juices got to be flowing. You've been nice. You getting cooked today with live callers. No live callers today, family. No live callers today. The podcast hasn't started yet. Relaxed. Not yet. But my peoples, like I was saying, man, look, Tank Davis is somebody that obviously the whole situation with Jake Paul didn't play out. We want to see him in the ring, and there's a lot of people, different fighters that we want to see him in the ring with. So I think when we do find out what's going to happen, I think we'll be excited. I think we'll all be excited about it. But again, my peoples, let me bring it back to this. We're going to be talking about all these fighters, all these situations, all these scenarios. We're gonna be talking about it on Goofiest of the Oofiest. It's simply, instead of just chatting, you guys will be able to call in and express yourself. Lori Reed, he might take a break for a minute to reset, but I feel he will be back before the end of the year. That's what I think. I think, the entire 2026 doesn't go by with Tank Davis kind of just sitting around waiting. I think he's gonna be, and Senior Cop said it. Tank watches everything. He's watching everything. So I know he's watching all of these fights and seeing the way things are playing out. And like I said, man, that competitiveness, him being the lion that he is, I don't think he could stay away from that long. I think he's gonna want to come back and put hands on somebody. And I'm looking forward to it because I want to see it. I want to say, my peoples, you see what you see up there, Goofiest of the Oofiest, the podcast? Well, on Monday, when we go live, you're going to see Goofiest of the Oofiest. And when the hotline opens, pop, the phone number is going to drop right there. That means when that phone number drop, I'm going to answer calls randomly. I'm not going to pick and choose. It's not going to be about, oh, well, let me not answer this guy's call because he's going to talk shit. Let me answer this guy's call because he agrees with me, or this girl agrees with me, so I'm going to take. No. The hotline is going to open up and let the chips fall where they may. But it is going to be, unfiltered interactions. We're not planning. I don't know what you're going to say. You don't know what I'm going to say or how I'm going to react to what you're going to say. So it's going to be a very interesting minute of action, shall I say. My peoples, I'm about to end this live. The main topic of conversation here and the reason for this live was to let you know the name of the show, Goofiest of the Oofiest, the podcast. It is going to drop on Monday. I'm going to upload, notifications so you guys know that it's dropping on Monday. Click that bell and be ready, my peoples. Be ready. Tay John, JSmiff, what's good? What's good, my brother? Bam! There you have it right there, Tay John. That's the name of the new show. Goofiest of the Oofiest, the podcast. And it's going to be dropping on Monday, September 30th. So that's next Monday. So be ready, my G. Because when the show drops, you're going to see the phone number. When I put that phone number up there, you guys are going to be able to call. And I already said it. You may have missed it. But you will be able to call via WhatsApp. So all you need is actually internet. That's it. I thought about it like a 1-800 number, something like that. But it's like, damn, I don't want you to have to pay an arm and a leg just to call the show. Gonna be on WhatsApp, so you guys will be able to call in. You will be on speaker, so I'll hear what you have to say, but everybody on the live is also gonna hear what you have to say. So people in the chat, I know you guys are gonna be sometimes agreeing with the caller. You're gonna be disagreeing with the caller. But I'm ready for the smoke. If you calling in, you better be ready for the smoke. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say, my people. Tay John, I'm gonna have to talk some shit, Jay. Just be ready for the smoke, because it's gonna be a cooking show. It's gonna be a cooking show. So once again, my peoples, I'm about to get the hell out of here. But salute to everybody who tuned in. This was the first live on Box Center 2.0. Very small crowd. We don't have a lot of subscribers on here. Plus, you don't even exist in the algorithm when it comes to 60 subscribers. So I know that was gonna happen. But let's make sure, my people, that we sharing the channel, we sharing the live, because it's gonna be epic. If YouTube doesn't kick us out, it's gonna be epic, I promise you. Shout out to Tay John. Shout out to Shakur Hands, Lori Reed, John Parham. You've been blessed. And everybody else. Everybody else who showed up, my people. This is the debut episode. And, well, the debut live for Box Center 2.0. Debut episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest drops on November 30th, which is next Monday. Be ready for the smoke, my peoples, because I will be. You already know what it is. I'm JSmiff. I'm signing off. I'll see you guys next week, man. And by the way, the videos that are on Box Center 2.0 are exclusive to this channel, my peoples. Don't miss those videos. Don't miss the exclusive content from JSmiff, because all the videos that are here, I don't post them on Instagram, on Facebook, on the other Box Center channel. No, it's only here. Everything that you see here is exclusive to Box Center 2.0. So check out these videos, my peoples. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. Yo, your boy JSmiff is out of here, man. See you guys on Monday. Be ready for the smoke. Peace.